Cookie Cutter is fun. It's even one of the metroidvanias I had the most fun with this year, although it is absolutely basic. Before I tell you what I mean by that, I'll tell you what this game is all about. Cookie Cutter is a post-apocalyptic metroidvania about a robot called Cherry. She was initially built by Shinji to join the rebellion against an evil corporation, but quickly they both fell in love with each other and just lived their lives until one day Shinji got kidnapped and Cherry almost destroyed. Of course, Cherry wants to save her lover and take revenge. To do that, she has access to an impressive arsenal. You collect a total of 5 weapons, all with their own moveset and distinctive feel to them. The fist, for example, is a fast close-range weapon, while the Educator is a slow, hard-hitting chainsaw sword that also functions as a tool to get access to some areas. Overall, the combat is the best thing about Cookie Cutter. You have a standard attack that doesn't really deal too much damage, but builds up your void energy, which is used by your weapons and abilities. This system creates a thrilling back and forth and never gets boring. Also, attacks are not simple press a button and attack, but actually work similar to fighting games, where the direction of your left stick alternates the attack. This allows you to launch enemies into the air or knock them down into the ground, creating some insanely satisfying combos. Boss battles, on the other hand, are nice, but not overly exciting. Their mechanics are nothing you haven't already seen in a bunch of other metroidvanias, but they're not boring by any means. The thing that can get quite boring though is exploration. While there are many shortcuts to unlock, which make the level design really good, and there are a few secrets and treasures to find, oftentimes the only reward you get is the currency, which isn't all too exciting. If you get lucky though, you find components and energy cells that allow you to equip more components. They modify some core aspect like expanding your aerial combo or increasing the strength of your base attack, which actually makes it a viable attack option. But again, nothing special here. It's a system that certainly works, but the few options and the fact that increasing your health and void energy is bound to that system is a bummer. And honestly, this is actually something that could have made exploration more fun. You see, every component can be upgraded by spending materials that are dropped by enemies and some of the currency. And that is also the case for the components to increase your health and void energy. So instead of finding the health upgrades behind secret paths and in hidden treasure chests, you get boring materials for upgrading the components. That is an unnecessary and unfun detour that could have been avoided. There's one thing I need to address about the exploration, and that is the map. Unlike most metroidvanias, the map automatically marks every point of interest that requires a certain upgrade to get past. While this makes backtracking a lot easier, I can imagine that people are turned off by that, since a big part of exploring areas and finding secrets is taken away. Personally, I really like that, as my short-term memory isn't exactly the best, but an option to turn that off would have been great. Movement, on the other hand, feels excellent. Cherry moves quickly, gets access to a double jump and an air dash, which is kind of a metroidvania obligation, but hey, that's fine. And everything feels precise and satisfying. But then again, all the movement options you unlock are very basic. I won't spoil them all, but I will say that unfortunately they're all pretty standard and really not overly exciting to use. To be frank, it's not terrible, and I can imagine that most people won't be bothered by that. But for a game that uses a quite unique setting and character, I hope for more extravagant and weird things to happen. I know I can't blame the game for my expectations, and I won't, but I do think there is a potential in the premise of the game that hasn't been utilized. One thing that has been utilized quite well though are the graphics and animations. The hand-drawn look is gorgeous to look at, and the violent animations are creative and perfectly over the top. The world itself looks beautiful, and the atmosphere the graphics and soundtrack create fit the post-apocalyptic setting perfectly. In the end, Cookie Cutter is a fun game that may not reinvent the Metroidvania wheel, but most of the things it does well. Graphics and combat are Cookie Cutter's strengths, and while movement doesn't provide options we haven't already seen before, it definitely feels good. Although I would call Cookie Cutter somewhat mediocre in most regards, I would still recommend it, especially to fans of the Metroidvania genre, and it certainly is a game I had fun with. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on Cookie Cutter? If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and if you don't want to miss more reviews, hit the bell as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.